Dear friends, welcome back on the topic of how to study the Bible. If you study the Bible by verses, in studying these historical passages of the Bible, such as most of the Old Testament or parts of the Gospels, each verses may be or may have only one simple meaning, but many verses in both the Old Testament and New Testaments are rich with many great Bible truths which will demand more detailed study. There are many ways that you can study a single Bible verse. Study it by verbs in the verse. For example, if you study John 3:16, you would find the following verb like loved, gave, should, not perish, or have. You should make a comparative list like God loved, man believes, God gave, man shall not perish, man has everlasting life. Or simply take the nouns in this wonderful verse like God, world, only begotten Son, whoever, everlasting life. Study a verse through the personalities revealed. For example, once again taking John 3:16. These very simple but significant points are brought to the light like God, only begotten Son, whoever, Him. Study a verse by looking for the great ideas revealed in it. Let us look again John 3:16 as our example. We might title this verse the greatest verse in the Bible. These following ideas are found in it, like God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes on Him shall not perish, but will have everlasting life. In God, the greatest person, so loved, is the greatest devotion. The world is the greatest number. He gave the greatest act. His only begotten Son shows the greatest gift. That whoever believes shows the greatest condition. Should not perish shows the greatest mercy. Have everlasting life shows the greatest result. Sometimes a combination of these various ideas applied to a verse will bring the richest result. For example, if you take Romans chapter 5 and verse 11, therefore this verse depends on chapter 4 verse 25. Our justification is based on and is guaranteed by Jesus' resurrection. Justified shows made righteousness. By faith shows method of our justification. We can see more in chapter 3 verse 24 and chapter 4 verse 9. Have shows not future but present tense. We must have this now. Peace with God shows we were enemies, but now there is peace between us and God because of what Christ has done. Though our Lord Jesus Christ, though our Lord Jesus Christ shows the way to peace with God and is only through Jesus Christ. You can study the Bible by books also. After you have begun the study the Bible by chapters or paragraphs or verses, you will be ready to study the Bible by books. There are several methods of Bible study. One is called the inductive method. This is a method of studying in detail the contents of the Bible book and then drawing from these details general conclusions or principles concerning the contents and purpose of the book. Another method of the book's study is called the synthetic method. By this method, one reads the Bible book over several times to receive general impressions of the main ideas and purpose of the book without attention of the details. It's sometimes hard to distinguish these two methods. Dear friends, mostly I do this. Uh, the second point is very familiar to me. I do this. I use this synthetic method. I keep on reading the Bible several times. Okay. In some cases, the study of the Bible book becomes a historical study if that book relates the history of a nation or a man in a particular period of time. For example, the book of Exodus tells us the history of the children of Israel from the death of Joseph in Egypt until the erection of the tabernacle in the wilderness. In times of Moses, this covers approximately 400 years. The principle of Bible book study, whether inductive or synthetic, are very similar. Such study will require more time than the previous method mentioned, but it will be amply rewarding. Now, here are some methods for the Bible study by books. Read the books through to get the perspective and the general emphasis of the book. Reread the books many times, each time asking yourself relevant questions and jotting down the answers you find as you read. Now, here are some questions to ask. The first is like, first, in the first time you read, what is the central theme or emphasis of this book? What is the keywords? In the second reading, remembering the theme of the book, see how it emphasized and developed. Look for special problems and applications. When you're doing the third reading, see what does it tell you about the author and his circumstances when he wrote this book. In the fifth reading, see what does the book tell you about the people to whom the book was written and their circumstances, need or problems. And in the fifth reading, when you are doing the fifth time reading, see what are the main divisions of the book. Is there any outline apparent in the logical organizations and development of the book? During this reading, divide the text into the paragraph as you see them and then give a title to each paragraph. Draw a line down to the right side of the outline and on the other side write any problems, questions, words or ideas that require further study of the comparison with another passage in the Bible. And in the sixth reading, when you are doing the sixth and successive reading, look for other facts or information that your earlier readings have suggested. By now, certain words will stand out in the book. See how often they recur. For example, as you read the book of Philippians, you will soon find that the word joy occurs many times. This is one of the key words of the book, so note its occurrences and circumstances surrounding it. Be with me and be around these videos. We will come back and we will learn more about how to study the Bible in various ways, and this will be a help for you and for anyone in the house, and surely we will be blessed. So stay with me, don't go anywhere. I'll come back soon.